Today, we're going to dive deep into something that's often misunderstood in relationships. We're talking about emotional connection and why it matters so much more than physical attraction. So, if you've ever found yourself wondering why you feel more connected to someone emotionally than physically, or why sometimes physical attraction alone isn't enough to keep a relationship strong, this video is for you. Lesson 1. What is emotional connection? To begin, let's break it down. What exactly do we mean by emotional connection? An emotional connection is that bond you feel with someone where you can truly share your feelings, experiences, and vulnerabilities. It's when you can talk about anything, be your true self, and feel understood. It's a deep sense of comfort and trust with someone, where you don't have to hide behind any walls. In a relationship, emotional connection is about feeling safe and supported. It's when you truly care about each other's happiness, fears, and dreams. Lesson 2. Why physical attraction isn't enough. Now, don't get me wrong, physical attraction can definitely play a role in the beginning stages of a relationship. But let's face it, attraction based only on looks doesn't always last. Physical attraction is often temporary. It's easy to get drawn to someone because of their looks, but after a while, looks alone can't sustain a deep, lasting connection. When the excitement of the physical attraction fades, what's left? That's where emotional connection steps in. It's the foundation that keeps the relationship strong and alive when the physical sparks start to dim. Without emotional connection, a relationship can feel shallow, and both people might start to drift apart. Lesson 3. The power of emotional intimacy. Emotional intimacy is when two people feel truly comfortable with each other. This kind of connection is built over time, with trust, communication, and shared experiences. When you share your thoughts, hopes, and even your fears with someone and they respond with care and understanding, that's emotional intimacy. It's like having a safe space where you can be vulnerable without fear of judgment. And that's incredibly important in any relationship. In contrast, physical intimacy can be amazing, but if it's not backed up by emotional intimacy, it can feel disconnected or even empty. That's why you might have heard people say that the best relationships are those where you feel emotionally close, not just physically close. Lesson 4. Emotional connection creates long-term fulfillment. Let's talk about the long term. If you're looking for a relationship that lasts, emotional connection is the key. Relationships based on emotional bonds tend to be more fulfilling and satisfying in the long run. Why? Because emotional connection creates a strong sense of belonging and understanding. It makes people feel like they are truly seen and appreciated for who they are, not just for their physical appearance. Over time, this connection helps you grow together, face challenges together, and build a life that's based on trust, respect, and care. Lesson 5. Emotional connection leads to better communication. Another huge benefit of emotional connection is communication. When you feel emotionally connected to someone, you're more likely to open up, share your feelings, and resolve issues together. Good communication is the backbone of any successful relationship, and emotional connection makes it so much easier. Without that emotional bond, it can be hard to communicate effectively. You might avoid hard conversations, or feel misunderstood, which can lead to conflict or distance. But when you have an emotional connection, even difficult conversations become easier, because you know the other person cares about your feelings. Lesson 6. How to build a strong emotional connection. So, now that we understand why emotional connection matters more than physical attraction, let's talk about how to build it. Here are some tips. Spend quality time together. The more time you spend together, the more opportunities you have to bond. Do activities that allow you to connect emotionally, like deep conversations, traveling together, or even just sharing hobbies. Be vulnerable. Emotional connection grows when you allow yourself to be open and vulnerable. Share your feelings, dreams, and even your fears. This creates a deeper level of trust and understanding. Listen actively. When your partner speaks, really listen. Don't just hear the words, try to understand the emotions behind them. Show empathy and offer support when needed. Express appreciation, acknowledge and appreciate the little things your partner does. Emotional connection grows when you feel valued and loved for who you are, not just for what you do. Support each other's growth, be each other's cheerleader. Support your partner in their personal and professional growth. When both partners feel like they're growing together, the emotional connection becomes stronger. Lesson 7. The balance between emotional and physical connection. Now, it's important to remember that emotional and physical connections aren't mutually exclusive. Ideally, a healthy relationship involves both. Physical attraction can help to create chemistry and bring you closer, but it's the emotional connection that will keep you together for the long haul. It's important to nurture both aspects of a relationship. The best relationships are those where you feel emotionally connected and physically attracted to each other, but the emotional bond is what truly holds the relationship together. Lesson 8. Practice forgiveness and patience. Forgiveness is something that can't be rushed, and it is a crucial part of rebuilding trust. If you're the one who caused the hurt, it's important to recognize that the healing process may take longer than you expect. Just because you're ready to move on doesn't mean your partner is. Forgiveness doesn't mean erasing the pain, but rather choosing to let go of the anger and resentment to create room for healing. It's a process that takes time, and that's okay. For the one who was hurt, it's important to give yourself time and space to heal. Forgiveness doesn't happen in an instant. It's a gradual process that requires a lot of patience with both yourself and your partner. So be kind to each other, especially during the rough patches. Lesson 9. Create new shared experiences. After trust has been broken, one way to rebuild is by creating new, positive shared experiences. Doing new things together can help re-establish a sense of closeness and bonding. This doesn't mean pretending the past never happened, but it's about moving forward with the goal of making new memories that are just as meaningful as the old ones. Whether it's a fun activity, a getaway trip, or learning a new skill together, doing something new can shift the focus from past hurt to present growth. It can be the first step towards healing, showing that the relationship is more than just the mistakes, but also the potential for something better. Lesson 10. Be transparent and honest. If you're rebuilding trust, honesty becomes even more important than ever. Being transparent about your feelings, actions, and intentions shows your partner that you're genuinely committed to making things work. Sometimes, the fear of further hurting someone may make you avoid certain truths, but remember, transparency is a sign of maturity and commitment. It's better to deal with difficult truths now than to leave room for future doubts and misunderstandings. Share what's on your mind and do so with respect and care. Lesson 11. Build stronger emotional safety. Building on the concept of emotional safety, it's important to remember that emotional security is a continuous effort. It's about constantly creating an environment where both partners feel valued, heard, and respected. If you're the one who's rebuilding trust, it's essential to give your partner the space to express their feelings and thoughts freely. On the other hand, if you're the one who's been hurt, you also need to take steps to create that safety for yourself. When both partners feel emotionally safe, the process of healing and rebuilding trust becomes much smoother. Lesson 12. Seek external support. Sometimes, despite all the efforts you put into rebuilding trust, the emotional burden becomes too heavy to handle on your own. And that's okay. It's important to recognize when to seek help. Therapists and relationship counselors can be incredibly helpful in these situations. They provide an unbiased perspective, tools for improving communication, and methods for understanding each other's needs better. Seeking help is not a sign of weakness, It's a sign that you are willing to fight for the relationship. So, if you feel like you need extra support, don't hesitate to reach out to a professional. Lesson 13. Embrace the journey of growth. Rebuilding trust is not just about fixing what was broken, it's also about personal growth and growth as a couple. This journey will teach both partners more about each other, but also about themselves. Through the ups and downs, you will learn to communicate better, understand each other's needs, and build stronger emotional resilience. The key is not to focus solely on getting back to where you were, but to embrace the chance to create something even stronger and more meaningful in your relationship. Lesson 14. Remember why you started. In every relationship, there are moments when things get tough. When rebuilding trust feels overwhelming, it's important to take a step back and remember why you started this journey in the first place. What was it that drew you to your partner? What are the qualities that you admire and love about them? Revisiting the good times, the shared goals, and the love you have for each other can reignite the fire that started your relationship. It can serve as a reminder of what you're both working toward, a stronger, healthier, and more fulfilling partnership. So, in summary, emotional connection is the real foundation of any strong relationship. While physical attraction can bring people together initially, it's the emotional connection that keeps a relationship meaningful and lasting. By focusing on building trust, communication, and intimacy, you can create a bond that goes beyond just the surface and stands the test of time. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who might need it, and don't forget to subscribe for more relationship tips. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.